They lit the screen with youthful charm, capturing hearts in the 50s, 60s, and 70s. But where are these beloved child stars now? Some faded into obscurity, while others reinvented themselves in surprising ways. One standout transformation? Matthew Labourteau. Albert from Little House on the Prairie looks stunning in his 60s, proving that time is only added to his charisma. From former teen idols to TV's most iconic kids, some have embraced new careers while others remain in the spotlight, still mesmerizing fans decades later. Get ready as Past Paradise takes you on a nostalgic journey, revealing the incredible then and now stories of the most unforgettable child stars. Quinn Cummings. Quinn Cummings became famous as a child actor, and her most famous part was as Lucy in The Goodbye Girl. She was nominated for an Academy Award for her acting skills, even as a child. Following a few ads in the TV show Family, Cummings chose to stop playing. Don't worry, Cummings is still busy because she lives in Los Angeles. She began writing and put out a blog and a few books. In 2019, she started a show and devised a way for pregnant women to carry their babies in a sling. In 2025, Quinn Cummings will continue to thrive in her multifaceted career. She remains active on social media, sharing her thoughts on various topics, including the Me Too movement. Quinn hosts her podcast, Quinn Cummings Gives Bad Advice, where she humorously answers questions from listeners. She lives in Los Angeles with her partner, Don DiPietro, and their daughter, Annette. Lauren Chapin. She plays Kathy on the TV show Father Knows Best. So if you watch that show, you know Lauren Chapin. Because of this part, Chapin won 5 Junior Emmys for Best Child Actress and was in almost all 203 episodes. Chapin had a few small parts in movies here and there from the 1950s to the 1980s. She worked as an actress, launched 2 beauty show businesses, and worked for a trading company. She wrote an autobiography and now lives in Florida, where she pursues her love of preaching. Lauren Chapin continues to be an advocate for young performers' mental health. She remains active in her efforts to create safe spaces for younger actors to share their experiences and seek support. Lauren also manages singers and actors and conducts seminars on show business, educating students on the do's and don'ts of the industry. Hayley Mills. Hayley Mills began her work when she was only 12 years old. It took her 20 years to win an Academy Award, a Juvenile Oscar, and the Disney Legend Award. Tiger Bay, The Parent Trap, and Whistle Down the Wind were just a few of the movies she was in the 1960s. In the 1980s, she returned to playing in several short films, Disney movies, and stage plays. She played the most recent important part in the TV show Wild at Heart. Mills is still acting, and her autobiography was released. Hayley Mills made a remarkable return to Hollywood after 63 years since her iconic role in The Parent Trap. At age 78, she starred in M. Night Shyamalan's latest project, Trap, where she played a detective forced to retire. This unexpected opportunity brought her back to the movie set, where she enjoyed the experience and the chance to work with Shyamalan. Kym Karath. Kym Karath started acting when she was only 3 years old and has been in several movies since then. In the famous film The Sound of Music, when she was only 7 years old, she played Gretel Von Trapp, the youngest of the Von Trapp children. This role made her famous. Karath was in many TV shows from when she was a teenager until her early 20s. After being in the movie Midnight Offerings in 1981, she quit acting to raise her son and spend more time modeling and traveling. Kym continues to cherish her legacy as Gretel Von Trapp from The Sound of Music. While she's not actively pursuing acting roles, she occasionally participates in events related to the film and contributes to preserving its legacy. Kym remains connected with her former co-stars and enjoys sharing memories from her time in the iconic movie. Johnny Crawford. Johnny Crawford began his work as a Disney kid. He was one of the first Mouseketeers. He quickly got 60 TV credits by playing in TV shows, movies, and teleplays until he got the part of the lead in The Rifleman in 1958, for which he was nominated for an Emmy. Crawford became interested in singing and had hit songs in the early 1960s. He joined the Johnny Crawford Orchestra in 1992 and played with them for over 15 years. He died too soon, in 2021 when he was 75 years old. Johnny is fondly remembered for his iconic role as Mark McCain in The Rifleman. While retired from acting, he occasionally publicly appears and engages with fans. Johnny enjoys a quieter life, reflecting on his extensive career in both acting and music. Jerry Mathers. Jerry Mathers got his start in show business in a department store ad when he was only 2 years old. He was best known for his part as Theodore or Beaver Cleaver in the TV show Leave It to Beaver. Leaving acting behind to go to school and start a new job in real estate, but not for long, in 1978, Mathers returned to work as an actor, this time in plays and other TV shows. Mathers is a well-known speaker now, and he uses his own experience with type 2 diabetes to show people how to live with and deal with the disease. Jerry continues to be cherished by fans as the last living cast member of Leave It to Beaver. He celebrated his 75th birthday in June 2023 and remains active, often spotted running errands with his wife, Teresa Modnick. Jerry enjoys spending time with his 5 grandchildren and remains a beloved figure in the entertainment industry. Kristy McNichol. Kristy McNichol was a famous teen star in the 1970s for her parts in Apple's Way and Family. For her work in Family, she was nominated for an Emmy Award. Little Darlings and Only When I Laugh, which came out in 1981, were her first movies. In 1988, McNichol had a busy year. She made 2 movies and started playing in the TV show Empty Nest. She retired in 2001, which was the end of her career. But she now teaches aspiring actresses at a private school. Kristy continues to live a quieter life in Los Angeles. She remains dedicated to teaching and advocacy work, focusing on mental health awareness and anti-bullying campaigns. Kristy enjoys yoga, tennis, and spending time with her beloved miniature Dachshunds. She occasionally makes public appearances, but primarily prefers to maintain her privacy. Jay North. Jay North had a few small parts as a kid before getting the lead role in Dennis the Menace in 1959. Because of this, he was in many commercials, crossover episodes, and show advertising as Dennis. His parts in the hit movies Zebra in the Kitchen and Maya made him a big star among teens. North's Dennis character followed him around all his life, which made it hard for him to get parts without being compared to the character he played as a child. Ultimately, he quit the business for good and became a jail officer. Jay continues to be cherished by fans for his iconic role as Dennis Mitchell in Dennis the Menace. He occasionally makes public appearances and engages with fans, reflecting on his extensive career in both acting and music. Jay enjoys a quieter life, focusing on personal projects and spending time with his loved ones. Ron Howard. Ron Howard started in the entertainment business as a kid actor on TV shows like The Twilight Zone and The Andy Griffith Show. He also played well-known parts in the movie American Graffiti and the TV show Happy Days. Howard began to write and direct movies in the 1980s. Apollo 13 and A Beautiful Mind are his most well-known movies. People like his acting, but his work as a director and writer earned him 2 stars on the Walk of Fame. Ron continues to be a prominent figure in Hollywood. He recently spoke at the Van Wetzel Performing Arts Hall in Sarasota, discussing his passion for documentaries and the allure of telling true stories. Howard has been deeply affected by the recent Los Angeles wildfires, reaching out to friends who have lost homes. Professionally, he remains dedicated to directing character-driven stories and documentaries, with his latest works reflecting his interest in real-life events. Tony Dow. Tony Dow became famous for his role as Wally Cleaver on the TV show Leave It to Beaver. Wally was the bigger brother of the main character, Theodore. Afterward, he was in other TV shows before returning as Wally Cleaver in the sequel series, the new Leave It to Beaver. Dow stopped acting and started directing instead. Another artistic skill Dow had was making sculptures out of metal. He displayed his work in galleries before sadly dying at age 77 in July 2022. Tony lives a quiet life in Los Angeles with his wife, Lauren Shulkind. He remains active in his artistic pursuits, working on sculptures in his home workshop. Tony Dow, best known for his role as Wally Cleaver on Leave It to Beaver, is cherished by fans and occasionally makes public appearances to engage with them. Mary Badham. Mary Badham only worked as an actress for a short time. Badham was chosen as Jean Louise Scout Finch in To Kill a Mockingbird when she was 10, even though she'd never been on stage. In the next 4 years, she was in 2 movies before she quit acting for good. She last worked in the film Our Very Own in 2005. She works outside the show business as an art restorer and a college test supervisor. She appeared in To Kill a Mockingbird's 2023 Broadway adaptation. Mary continues to be celebrated for her iconic role as Scout Finch in To Kill a Mockingbird. She advocates for the themes of tolerance and compassion presented in the film, often participating in lectures and events to share her experiences. Mary lives a quieter life, focusing on her family and her work as an art restorer. Jimmie Walker. The first time Jimmie Walker was seen as doing stand-up comedy, he's best known for playing James Evans Jr., the eldest son of the Evans family on the 1970s show Good Times. Walker went on game shows and made a lot of guest spots on TV shows. Walker's book came out in early 2012. Walker now does his funny stand-up comedy act all over the country, continuing the very thing that got him his start in the first place. Jimmie continues to be a cherished icon in the world of comedy. He remains active, debunking recent death rumors and engaging with fans. Walker, best known for his role as J.J. Evans on Good Times and his iconic catchphrase, "Dynamite," enjoys reflecting on his enduring legacy and contributions to entertainment. Danny Bonaduce. Dante Daniel Bonaduce played a few small parts as a kid before he became Danny Partridge in The Partridge Family. Bonaduce has been in many movies and TV shows throughout his career, but Danny Partridge is the part that made him popular. But what Bonaduce liked was hosting. He did it for both TV and radio talk shows. Since 2022, Bonaduce has been responsible for a morning radio show in Seattle. Also, we bet you didn't know that Bonaduce fought officially as both a boxer and a wrestler in the 2000s. Danny continues to be a beloved figure in entertainment. He's retired from acting and performing, but remains engaged with his fans through social media and occasional public appearances. Danny's been open about his ongoing battle with a mystery illness, which has significantly impacted his life and career. Despite these challenges, he continues to reflect on his legacy and impact on the entertainment industry. Jon Provost. Jon Provost got his start in show business in the movie Country Girl in 1954 when he was just 4 years old. He got his first big break when he was 7 and cast as Timmy Martin on the TV show Lassie. He did this job for 6 years until his contract was up. Before he went to college, he kept acting. In the last few decades, Provost has sold homes and now spends most of his time working with charities and groups. Many fans are thrilled that he often shows up at events and fundraisers. Jon continues to be cherished by fans for his iconic role as Timmy Martin on Lassie. He remains active in the entertainment community, occasionally making public appearances and engaging with fans. Jon enjoys a quiet life with his longtime wife and their family, often sharing stories from his time on the beloved show. He reflects fondly on his career and its impact on his life. Erin Murphy. Erin Murphy is best known for her role as Tabitha Stevens on the series Bewitched. But did you know that her twin sister also played the same part in the first season of the show? Once they looked too different, Erin kept going as Tabitha by herself. Murphy did ads and posed after leaving Bewitched. Murphy worked in show business her whole life. She's been a casting director, a makeup artist, an acting teacher, and an inspiring speaker, among other things. Is there anything she can't do? Erin, best known for her role as Tabitha Stevens on Bewitched, continues to share her life with fans on social media. She recently celebrated the 60th anniversary of the show's premiere, reflecting on her childhood memories and the show's impact on her life. Erin remains active as a motivational speaker, autism advocate, and entrepreneur. She's also a mother of 6 sons and enjoys spending time with her family. Angela Cartwright. Angela Cartwright is a British-American actress who appeared in the movie Somebody Up There Likes Me when she was 3. She played Linda Williams, Danny Williams' daughter, in The Danny Thomas Show. That was her central TV part. In The Sound of Music, Cartwright played Brigida Von Trapp, another part she was given. Cartwright was in a few movies, but her work changed after the significant parts she played as a kid. Since then, she's been a professional shooter for over 30 years. Angela continues to be celebrated for her iconic roles in The Sound of Music and Lost in Space. She recently embarked on a 60th anniversary tour of The Sound of Music in Bavaria and Austria, sharing her memories from the film shoot. Angela remains active in her photography career and enjoys incorporating art into various projects. She's married to Steve Gillian, and they live in California with their 2 children, Rebecca and Jesse. Brooke Shields. Even though she's now one of the most famous stars and models, Brooke Shields began modeling when she was only 11 months old. The first movie she was in as an actress was Pretty Baby, which came out when she was 12. She'd be on the cover of Vogue and in Calvin Klein ads when she was 14. Since then, Shields has been in many movies and TV shows, but none have been as popular as her most famous ones from the 1980s, Blue Lagoon and Endless Love. Brooke continues to be a prominent figure in Hollywood. She recently celebrated her milestone birthday and released her latest memoir, Brooke Shields is Not Allowed to Get Old, Thoughts on Aging as a Woman. In the book, she candidly discusses her experiences with aging, motherhood, and the challenges of being a woman in the public eye. Brooke remains active in her career, balancing her work with spending quality time with her daughters and enjoying life without the pressures of a biological clock. Keith Thibodeaux. When he was only 5, Keith Thibodeaux joined the group I Love Lucy because he got the directors and other players' attention with his drumming skills. He quickly became a part of the family. He was in 13 episodes of The Andy Griffith Show as well. Thibodeaux joined the rock band David and the Giants when he was 19. The band went on tour and put out 9 records. He's now the business head for Ballet Magnificat, his wife's dance group. Keith, best known for playing Little Ricky on I Love Lucy, continues to cherish his memories from the iconic show. He remains one of the last surviving cast members and often shares his gratitude for being part of such a memorable series. Keith is married to ballerina Kathy, and together they run Ballet Magnificat, which combines dance and faith. They're also proud grandparents, enjoying their family life and the joy their grandchildren bring. Peter Ostrum. People from the casting office came to Peter Ostrom's neighborhood theater and offered him the part of Charlie Bucket in Willy Wonka and the Chocolate Factory. It was his only movie part, and he wouldn't talk about it for years, not even with his wife. Ostrom found he loved horses when he got home from working on the movie and went to school to become a veterinary doctor. After graduating from Cornell University, he worked as a doctor. Peter, best known as Charlie Bucket in Willy Wonka and the Chocolate Factory, continues to lead a fulfilling life as a veterinarian. He remains dedicated to his veterinary practice, impacting the lives of countless animals and their owners. Peter occasionally shares his experiences in the film and the lessons he learned from his unique journey. He enjoys speaking to students about the importance of following their passions and making career changes if needed. Valerie Bertinelli. Valerie Bertinelli was only 15 years old when she was asked to play Barbara Cooper in the One Day at a Time series. She played the part for 9 years until the show was canceled. She would also have a big part in the 2001 show Touched by an Angel. Bertinelli kept acting and spent 6 seasons on the series Hot in Cleveland. Bertinelli has found her place on the Food Network since 2015, where she hosts several food shows. Her autobiography was released in 2022. Valerie continues to inspire fans with her journey of self-acceptance and body positivity. She recently shared a powerful message on social media, encouraging people to forget your past, forgive yourself, and begin again. Valerie has been open about her challenges with body image and emotional eating, and she continues to advocate for a healthy relationship with food and self-care. She also experienced some personal changes, including a split from her boyfriend, Mike Goodenough, after 10 months of dating. Despite this, she remains focused on her well-being and continues to share her experiences with honesty and vulnerability. Melissa Gilbert. Melissa Gilbert started her acting career in commercials and small parts on TV shows. However, her most famous role is as Laura Ingalls Wilder on Little House on the Prairie, which she played for 9 years and was nominated for a Young Actress Award. She stayed in the entertainment business after most of her starring roles were over and became head of the Screen Actors Guild. In 2016, she went into politics, which no one saw coming. Melissa continues to embrace her journey of aging gracefully. She recently made a guest appearance on When Calls the Heart, reprising her role as Georgie McGill. Melissa has also been vocal about her decision to leave Hollywood, citing the pressure to maintain a youthful appearance as a significant factor. She now resides in upstate New York with her husband, Timothy Busfield, and has launched a lifestyle brand called Modern Prairie, which celebrates aging with pride. Barry Williams. As a kid, Barry Williams worked hard to become an actor. He made guest appearances on many shows before being chosen as Greg Brady, the oldest brother of the Brady Bunch, in 1969. Because of this part, he was able to be in the same movies and spin-off shows as his co-stars. Until he played Hannibal on General Hospital in 1984, he was mostly known for his part as Greg Brady. After that, he went to theater and was in many shows. He moved and played music with a band called Barry Williams and the Traveliers in 2019. Barry continues to be a beloved figure from the Brady Bunch. He co-hosts the podcast The Real Brady Bros with Christopher Knight, where they reflect on their time on the show and share behind-the-scenes stories. Barry also remains active in the entertainment industry, occasionally making public appearances and engaging with fans. Linda Blair. Her first role was on the 1968 show Hidden Faces, but her most famous part was as Regan in The Exorcist, which came out in 1972. She got a lot of attention for this, and when she was a girl, she appeared in a few movies. As of 1979, her parts were much more racy, and she started to be in movies about women in jail and about abuse. She's kept working, but she now spends most of her time on her charity, rescuing abused or mistreated animals. She fights for animal rights, helps people, and is a committed vegan. Linda continues to be a respected figure in the entertainment industry. She remains active in her philanthropic endeavors, mainly focusing on animal rights and welfare. Linda frequently participates in charity events and uses her platform to advocate for animal rescue and care. Beyond her activism, she occasionally takes on acting roles and engages with fans through public appearances and social media. Justin Henry. In the movie Kramer vs. Kramer, Justin Henry played a child whose parents were fighting over who would care for him. He was nominated for an Oscar for this act, making him the youngest nominee in any Oscar category. He was only 8 years old. Henry went on to be in TV shows like Fantasy Island and movies like 16 Candles and Sweetheart's Dance after this movie. He still shows up in movies and TV shows now and then, and Henry helped to start the Slam Dunk Film Festival. Justin is fondly remembered for his iconic role as Billy in Kramer vs. Kramer. He's transitioned from acting to a quieter life, focusing on his passion for film festivals. Justin co-founded the Slam Dunk Film Festival in 1998, which remains an alternative to the Sundance Film Festival. He occasionally makes guest appearances and remains engaged with the entertainment community. Jackie Earle Haley. In the movie The Bad News Bears and its two sequels, Jackie Earle Haley played the role of Kelly Leak when he was 15. After these movies, he kept playing kid parts in other movies. He then took a break from acting and returned to it in the early 2000s. He started writing and directing TV commercials between performing in films when he was younger and in more recent roles. JEH Productions is the company he started up to make movies. Jackie continues to be a respected actor in Hollywood. He remains active in the industry, performing various roles in films and television shows. Jackie is known for his performances in Watchmen and Little Children. He continues to be involved in projects that showcase his talent. He's married to Amelia Cruz, and they have two children, Christopher and Olivia. Jackie supports several charities, including the Children's Miracle Network and the American Cancer Society. Harvey Stephens. A different Harvey Stephens, born in 1901, is not to be confused with this one. This Harvey Stephens became famous when he played Damien Thorne, a devil child, in the 1976 movie The Omen. Stephens' only major part would be this one, but it was enough to get him noticed and a Golden Globe nod. In 1980, he was also in the movie Gauguin the Savage. Harvey, best known for his role as Damien Thorne in The Omen, continues to be a beloved figure in the horror community. He frequently attends horror conventions and fan events, engages with fans, and shares stories from his iconic role. Harvey has also been involved in various documentaries and interviews, reflecting on his unique experiences filming the movie and its lasting effect. Beyond his involvement in the horror scene, Harvey leads a quieter life, focusing on his career as a property developer and futures trader. Alison Arngrim. Like many others, Alison Arngrim started her work by modeling and playing in ads. In 1974, when she was 12, she was cast as Nellie Oleson in Little House on the Prairie. She played this part for 7 seasons. She would use sketches from this character in her comic shows and other things she would do later in life. In 2006, Arngrim started to act on stage as well. In 2010, she wrote an autobiography. These days, she works for charities and groups that support issues that are important to her. Alison continues vocalizing about the upcoming Little House on the Prairie reboot. She revealed that none of the original cast members were contacted for the Netflix series. Alison expressed her concerns about the direction of the reboot, emphasizing that it won't follow the same format as the original show. Despite this, she humorously mentioned that she's now old enough to play Mrs. Oleson and would love to be part of the new series. Pamela Sue Martin. Pamela Sue Martin started her career later than the other stars on this list. She began modeling when she was 17 and acting when she was 19. Even though she started in movies, she was best known for her part as Nancy Drew on the TV show The Nancy Drew Mysteries. In the 1980s, she regularly participated in Dynasty. Since her more significant parts, she's been in a few movies and TV shows here and there. But now she spends her time doing fun things and being an activist for environmental issues. Pamela continues to cherish her privacy and leads a fulfilling life away from the spotlight. She's embraced her adventurous spirit, enjoying horse riding and traveling. Pamela remains connected with her fans through occasional social media posts and reunions, but she has largely stepped away from acting to focus on her interests and family. Mike Lookinland. Robert Brady, the younger boy in the Brady Bunch, was played by Michael Lookinland. Lookinland was already a seasoned child actor, having been in about 30 ads, but his part as Bobby Brady launched his career. He was in many movies and TV shows after the Brady Bunch. He was in several films and TV shows, but finally chose to leave the entertainment business. He now runs a business in Utah that sells concrete. Mike continues to be cherished by fans for his role as Bobby Brady on the Brady Bunch. He remains active in the entertainment community, occasionally making public appearances and engaging with fans. Mike enjoys a quieter life, focusing on his family and personal projects. He's married to Kelly Wormuth, and they have 2 children, Scott and Joe. Mike also works behind the scenes in film and television, leveraging his extensive experience in the industry. Shaun Cassidy. Being a teen hero helped Shaun Cassidy's first 2 albums do well because people liked the music he loved. He got a record deal and put out an album when he was still in high school. He also played parts on stage and in the Hardy Boys Mysteries. Cassidy was a famous actor, but in the 1990s he also started writing and directing. This led him to work on many shows we love, such as American Gothic, Invasion, and New Amsterdam. Shaun continues to be a prominent figure in the entertainment industry, primarily working behind the scenes. He's had a successful career as a writer and producer, creating and producing numerous television series. Shaun remains active in the industry, leveraging his extensive experience to contribute to various projects. He's married to Tracy Lynn Turner, and they continue to enjoy their life together. Leif Garrett. As a child, Leif Garrett started playing with his sister, Dawn Lynn. They worked together in the movie Devil Times 5 and a few TV shows. He was in Bob and Carol and Ted and Alice when he was 8. When he was 12, he began appearing in the Walking Tall movies. Garrett also composed songs and acted in film and TV shows throughout the 2010s. He was on several television shows and wrote a book about his life in 2019. Leif continues to be a fascinating figure in pop culture. He remains active on social media, sharing updates about his life and reflecting on his journey from teen idol to his struggles with addiction and eventual comeback attempts. Leif has expressed a desire to adopt a child and hopes to find someone to share his life with following the passing of his girlfriend, Elaine Bilstead. Despite his challenges, Leif Garrett remains fondly remembered by his fans for his music and acting career. Mackenzie Phillips. Mackenzie Phillips was only 12 years old when she was seen at one of her band's shows and allowed to try out for the movie American Graffiti. She was in the movie as Carol Morrison. She was then put on the TV show One Day at a Time, but Phillips' bad behavior meant that her character had to be written off. In the late 1990s, Phillips was able to get back on her feet and start working again. Since 2016, she's worked as a counselor in an addiction rehab. Mackenzie continues to work as a drug rehab counselor at the Breath Life Healing Center in California. She remains dedicated to helping others overcome addiction and has been an advocate for mental health and recovery. Mackenzie occasionally shares her experiences and insights through public speaking engagements and social media, supporting and encouraging those on similar journeys. Jodie Foster. Jodie Foster's first starring job was on Mayberry RFD when she was 6, but her part in Taxi Driver when she was 12 really launched her career. After starring in The Accused and The Silence of the Lambs, though, she wasn't seen as a kid character anymore. Foster kept playing lead roles in movies and different Netflix shows. Little Man Tate, which came out in 1991, was her first movie as a director. Foster is very good at what she does and has won 4 Golden Globes. Jodie continues to be a prominent figure in Hollywood. She won the Best Female Actor in a Limited or Anthology Series award at the 2025 Golden Globes for her role in True Detective Night Country. During her acceptance speech, she made rare personal comments about her sons, Kit and Charlie, and her wife, Alexandra Hedison. Foster expressed how content and at peace she feels at this stage. Willie Aames. It all started for Willie Aames when he was a child in the late 1960s. He was in many shows until 17 and started playing Tommy Bradford on 8 is Enough. At the same time, Aames was touring with his band, Willie Aames and Paradise, and he was also in the movie Scorchy in 1976. Aames changed careers in 2010 and worked as a ship director for different ship lines. In 2017, the Hallmark Channel movie Date My Dad was his first role back on the big screen. Willie continues to rebuild his life after overcoming significant personal changes. He's embraced a fresh start and found happiness in his 3rd marriage. Willie remains active in the entertainment community, occasionally making public appearances and engaging with fans. He continues to share his journey of recovery and resilience, inspiring others with his story. Ralph Carter. When he was 9, Ralph Carter's first job on Broadway was in The Me Nobody Knows. He also played a part in Raisin, for which he was nominated and won awards. Carter is best known for his part as Michael Evans on the TV show Good Times. Carter also made an album and put it out, and 2 of the songs on it were top 20 hits. Carter currently lives in New York City and works part-time at AudelCo, a group that supports black theater in the tri-state area. Ralph continues to be cherished for his role as Michael Evans on Good Times. He's retired from the spotlight and dedicated his life to his family, raising 5 children from 2 marriages. Ralph remains active in the community, leading in the Cultural Museum of African Art and the AudelCo Awards. He also teaches at the Child Development Center at CCNY and has written over 20 children's books. Kim Richards. Kim Richards' first role as a real actress was as Prudence Everett in the 1970s TV show Nanny and the Professor. Many Disney movies like Escape to Witch Mountain and No Deposit quickly cast her. Richards also had minor roles in many TV shows in the late 1970s and early 1980s. Most of us know her from her 5 seasons as a leading cast member on The Real Housewives of Beverly Hills. Kim continues to navigate personal challenges while making occasional public appearances. She recently attended an old Hollywood convention in Los Angeles, where she spoke with fans and podcast host David Yontef. Kim's been living in Florida and enjoying her time there with one of her best friends. Despite recent family tensions, she remains focused on her well-being and continues to be supported by her sisters, Kyle and Kathy. Kathy Coleman. She was cast as Holly Marshall on the show Land of the Lost when she was 12. It was her only big TV job, and she played the part for 3 seasons. Coleman wrote 2 autobiographies about her life about 40 years later. They both talked about her time as a child star on Land of the Lost and many other parts of her life, like her marriages and working in the entertainment business. Kathy remains a beloved figure from Land of the Lost. She frequently attends conventions like the Hollywood show, where she enjoys meeting fans and sharing memories from the show. Kathy has also written a memoir titled Run, Holly, Run, reflecting on her experiences as a child star. She leads a fulfilling life, cherishing her connections with fans and staying active in the entertainment community. Brandon Cruz. When he was only 5 years old, Brandon Cruz tried out for and got the part of Eddie Colbert on the TV show The Courtship of Eddie's Father. The show lasted 3 years, but Cruz acted even after the last decade. He was on TV shows like The Incredible Hulk and Kung Fu. Cruz became interested in punk rock very quickly. He started his music career with the band Dr. No and then with Dead Kennedys. His most recent role was in the 2012 movie The Lords of Salem. Brandon continues to be active in the entertainment industry and his passion for punk rock. He remains a member of the band Dr. No, which is working on a new album and planning a world tour. Brandon also works in television and film behind the scenes, leveraging his extensive experience. He's dedicated to his role as a drug and alcohol recovery specialist, helping others on their journey to sobriety. Parker Stevenson. Stevenson played the lead role in A Separate Peace when he was 20. After finishing college, where he was learning to be an engineer, he got a part in the movie Lifeguard, but his role as Frank Hardy in the Hardy Boys in the 1970s made him famous. Stevenson kept playing, but until his part as Craig Pomeroy on the TV show Baywatch, nothing else made an effect like that. His last part was as Louis Osmond in the Greenhouse Academy, which ran from 2017 to 2021. Stevenson is good at taking pictures, too. Parker continues to be active in the entertainment industry. He remains involved in various projects, leveraging his extensive experience as an actor. Parker is also known for his photography work, which he continues to pursue passionately. He enjoys spending time with his family and staying connected with fans. Robbie Benson. When Robbie Benson was young, his career took off when he got significant parts in One-on-One and Ice Castles movies. These and many other movies he was in were sports that needed to be physically fit and learn quickly. He also played the role of Beast in Beauty and the Beast. Did you know that? Benson is still very busy. He writes books, teaches classes as a professor at several colleges, and is a campaigner for heart research. Robbie continues to be active in the entertainment industry and academia. He remains a film producer, teaching at various institutions and sharing his extensive knowledge with students. Robbie also directs and writes projects, leveraging his experience in both fields. He enjoys spending time with his family and continues to advocate for heart health awareness, drawing from his personal experiences with heart surgeries. Ricky Schroder. Ricky Schroder won the youngest Golden Globe ever for Best New Star of the Year. It was his first job ever, and he was only 9 years old. The next big part was as Ricky Stratton on the TV show Silver Spoons. Schroder got rid of his childish parts, which made him happy, and was cast in more adult roles on TV shows like NYPD Blue, Scrubs, and 24. From 2004 on, he also directed movies. Ricky continues to be active in the entertainment industry, primarily working behind the scenes as a director and producer. He remains vocal about his conservative political views and has been involved in various campaigns and public appearances. Ricky has also faced some controversy due to his outspoken opinions, but he continues to engage with his supporters and share his perspectives. Christopher Knight. Christopher Knight is best known for playing Peter Brady on The Brady Bunch. He was in many shows that came after the original one, but his playing career was limited. He only did movies and TV shows like Happy Days and The Love Boat. Knight quit acting to become a tech worker and started a graphic design and video hardware business. In the 2000s, he returned to TV with several spots on different shows. Christopher continues to be a beloved figure from The Brady Bunch. He co-hosts the podcast The Real Brady Brothers with Barry Williams, where they share behind-the-scenes stories and reflect on their time on the show. Christopher remains active in the entertainment community, making occasional public appearances and engaging with fans. He enjoys a fulfilling life, focusing on his family and personal projects. Butch Patrick. Butch Patrick decided to work with a casting director after his sister pushed him to do so. He then started making guest spots on TV shows. At age 11, Patrick got the part of Eddie Munster on the TV show The Munsters. Eddie's a kid monster. He appeared as a guest star on several TV shows and Walt Disney movies. The second most crucial part Patrick ever played was Mark in the 1971 TV show Lidsville, but he soon turned to music instead, and after his big break as a child, his playing career slowed down. Butch, best known for his role as Eddie Munster on The Munsters, continues to make occasional public appearances. He was spotted in Los Angeles during the holiday season running last-minute errands. Butch remains active on his YouTube channel, Coach to Coast, where he shares content related to his career and personal interests. He's also set to appear in a short film titled Cadillac Respect, playing the character of a retired police chief. Tatum O'Neal. Tatum O'Neal was in the movie Paper Moon when she was 9 years old with her father. She was the youngest person to ever win an Academy Award for this. She went on to star in movies like Nickelodeon and The Bad News Bears. O'Neal's playing work has slowed down a lot. In the past 15 years, she's only been in 5 movies. She never stopped acting, though, and has had regular parts in TV shows Rescue Me and Wicked Wicked Games. There's a book and a collection of writings by O'Neal. Tatum continues her journey of recovery after a near-fatal stroke in 2020 left her with aphasia, affecting her ability to speak. She's been working diligently with speech therapy to regain her complete vocabulary and relearn to read. Despite the challenges, Tatum remains determined and has made remarkable progress. She continues to share her story of resilience and recovery, inspiring many with her strength and perseverance. Melissa Sue Anderson. Melissa Sue Anderson got her start in the business with the help of a dance teacher. After being in a few TV spots, she began acting on TV. She's 11 years old and played Mary Ingalls on Little House on the Prairie. For this role, she was nominated for an Emmy Award. Anderson was in many movies and TV shows throughout her career, but none were as well known as Little House. Anderson wrote a book about her life as a child actor that came out in 2010. Melissa continues to enjoy a quieter life away from the spotlight. She's prioritized her family and remains happily married to her husband of 32 years. Melissa Sue, best known for her role as Mary Ingalls on Little House, occasionally reflects on her time on the show and her journey since then. She's focused on her children and grandchildren, cherishing the time spent with them. Matthew Laberteau. Matthew Laberteau started acting when he was young and worked in commercials and TV shows before getting his big break as Albert Ingalls on Little House on the Prairie. When he joined the group in 1978, he played the troubled but loving adopted son of Charles and Caroline Ingalls and quickly became a fan favorite. His emotional acts moved people, especially Albert's battles with illness and hardship. Laberteau kept working in the entertainment business after the show finished, switching to voice acting for cartoon shows and video games. Even though he's in his 60s, he still looks young and energetic, and fans are often reminded of his charm when he goes out in public. People who grew up watching him still admire his skill and gifts to TV, even though he has kept much of his personal life private. Matthew continues to be a respected figure in the entertainment industry. He remains active in voice acting, lending his talent to various projects. Matthew is also dedicated to his advocacy work, mainly focusing on autism awareness, drawing from his personal experiences. He enjoys spending time with his family and occasionally makes guest appearances at conventions, engaging with fans and sharing stories from his career. If you've watched the video till here, that means you've enjoyed the video. Subscribe. Don't forget to turn on the notifications bell icon